In the video, we are going to use this Casio CW calculator to evaluate definite integrals and evaluate derivatives with different values. I have a full 3.5-hour video for this calculator that covers everything from beginning to end. The link to watch the video is below the video in the description, or you can click now to watch it. Let's see how we can do the derivative calculation with this calculator. We can evaluate derivative and the answer is only number. Let's reset our calculator so we are on the same settings. Press setting, reset, initialize all, yes, EXE, all clear. For example, if we have a function f of x² plus 5x, if this is a position of an object, if you take the derivative will be velocity. The derivative of this function will be our velocity. So we need to have the function, and then x value for the function, and then the tolerance. The tolerance is optional. We can do the derivative in math out, or math in decimal out mode, as well as the other mode. So for this, let's go for the f of x² plus 5. We have to write it on the screen. And the question would be to evaluate the derivative of this. Evaluate the velocity at 3 seconds. And evaluate the velocity at 4 seconds, which means take the derivative and evaluate it with 3, and take the derivative and evaluate it with 4 for the purpose. Let's go a catalog, and then because it's already function OK, and derivative is at the top, we click OK. So first we have to write down our equation 2x² plus 5, and here the cursor is already there, 2 and then x, and then this one is squared. Plus 5. Now I have everything, and then using the arrow, go to the right. And this is where we evaluate with 3. So we have to enter 3 here, and then press equal. And the answer is 12. We do it with a 4, and this and this. In this case, we are just going once the cursor appears second time, and here after that, delete it with delete button. This button. And then 4, and then EXE, execute or equal, and you get the answer. Here is the second example. We want to evaluate this f of x, which is sin ex at pi over 3. For that, we have to set our calculator to radian mode. Press settings, calculator settings, and then angle unit. From here, we can go and select radian, and when I press OK, all clear. Now we see here R, and our calculator is in proper mode. So go to this catalog and OK. Now we are in derivative again, and then this into sin x. And here, press sin and then x. To enter our equation, we press sin. And then x, make sure to close it. And then, with the arrow come to the right, Shift 7. Shift 7 is pi. And then this button, so we can go fraction sign, and then 3, and then EXE. And as you can see, the answer is 1/2. Now let's go to line in, line out, go to setting, calculate, and setting input output, and then here select the line in, line out, and then all clear. Now if I go to catalog, and then OK. In this case, we can set it like this sign. And then x, close it, and then pi over 3, we have to put comma. Comma is a second function where we press function, and then closing parenthesis. And then pi over 3 alpha is just pi divided by 3. And then again another comma. So we have to put this comma, and now the tolerance is 1 times 10 to the 22. That is the minimum. So you can set higher value for accurate result. So 1 times 10, I am pressing this. It's 1 times 10 to the power 22. That is 22. And then I'm closing it, and then we have to close the actual function here at the end. And we got 0.5, which is 1.5 the same as before. Now let's see how we can do integral evaluation. Let's reset our calculator settings. Reset, and then EXE, initialize all, yes. And then you see all that when you evaluate an integral, we are getting the area under the curve. You can solve only definite integral, which will give you a number. Calculation time may vary with the type of the functions that you are evaluating. When you're using, for example, trig or sine and cosine, make sure to set it to radian, otherwise you will get incorrect answer and in line out, and decimal out. You may also use a tolerance value. For the tolerance, you can use 1 to instant the power 22 or greater to get more accurate result. And let's go to Math in Math Out mode. I'm going to shift Settings in Out and then Math in Math Out. Okay, all clear. And this is our function. We want to find one to evaluate this x squared from 1 to 2. So this is our function. This is our lower bound, and this is called the upper bound. Now, let's go to Catalog. And then, okay, and the function, and go down Integration. Now we see the hour function. So let's enter x squared. We press this x, and then 4 squared, we press this button. So that is our squared. After that, we use this button to come down lower bound 1. And then using this, we can go up to set 2. And then EXE, and we've got the answer, which is 3/7. Our second example is the integral of cosine to x over 2 plus 2 from pi to 2 pi. In this case, we have to set it to radian. Let's go to Settings, Calculator Setting, Unit Radian. All clear, and let's go to line mode. This time I'm pressing Settings, Calculator Setting, In, Out, and then Line In, Line Out, and all clear. And our function will be displayed by this integral of function from point pi to 2 pi. In this case, this is our function. So from point pi to 2 pi. Press Catalog Function and Integral, and then this is our function. So let's set it. We have open parenthesis. Cosine of 2x divided by 2. Closing parenthesis plus 2. And then shift comma. This is our comma. The pi here, shift pi. Pi is shift with 7 with a shift. And then we will put shift comma, and then the upper bound, which is to pi, to shift pi, and then close it and press equal. You saw that it took some time, and the result is shown like this. And now example 3, we do the same thing except we add this tolerance. Now, let's use the arrow and then go one more shift. Comma, and then 1 times then to the power. 22, 1, and then times 10 is this button. Times 10 to the power minus 22. Everything is done. I've closed it and opened that, and then press equal, and we get this answer. Here is my full comparison of two calculator. Button, that's for the first time I turned it on. So what can you do with this calculator? You can do all basic calculations, so you can do statistical calculation, you can do polynomials such as quadratic, cubic, and quartic up to degree for calculation, simultaneous. It could